I wasn't planning on staying past sundown, but my truck wouldn't start. The temperature dropped fast. Thick fog rolled in, muffling every sound but the trickle of Hemlock Creek. My flashlight flickered once and died. That's when I heard it. Not a branch snap. Not a coyote. This was deeper, like a tree exhaling. At first I told myself it was the wind pushing through the ridge, but the rhythm was too slow, too heavy. One exhale, then another. Then something stepped into the creek. I could hear the water move around it. Not splash, move, like something displacing hundreds of pounds of weight. I crouched low, squinting through the fog. A silhouette took form between the trees, taller than any man, shoulders wider than a doorframe, dark brown hair matted with rain. It stood perfectly still, facing me, as if it had been watching for a while. Then it turned its head. Slowly, deliberate. I swear its eyes caught the faint glow of my dead flashlight and reflected gold. We stared at each other for maybe 5 seconds, but it felt longer. It didn't growl, it didn't charge, it just breathed, deep and calm. Then with one low grunt, it stepped backward into the mist. I could hear its footsteps fade up the slope, each one slower and softer, until all that was left was the sound of the creek again. When I finally got my truck to start, the clock on the dash said 3:12 a.m. I hadn't realized I'd been frozen there for nearly 2 hours. A week later, I went back during the day. There were impressions in the soft mud near the creek, too wide, too deep for boots. The ranger I told shrugged it off, said, "Hunters fake that stuff all the time." But when I mentioned the gold reflection in the eyes, he went quiet. He looked at me for a long second and said, "Son, those woods have eyes that don't belong to anything I can tag." I never went back after that night, but sometimes when the wind shifts, I swear I can smell that same earthy musk, like wet pine and old fir.